Emily here, and today we are going to do a yoga flow focused on the lower half of the body, so glutes, hamstrings, everything else below the waist. We are going to flow, a nice vinyasa flow, but the focus of the deeper stretches will be lower body. Let's get started. We're going to come to the top of our mats, feet a little bit wider than hips width distance. Drop the arms by the sides with the palms facing forward, and then go ahead, just shake out the knees a little bit, soften, and then settle into stillness. You have a slight bend in your knees. Your shoulders are rolled back so the heart space is open and the palms face forward, ready to receive. And we'll use that word throughout our practice today, receiving. I think a lot of times we tend to give and give and give and give, not pausing to remember or think of the things we need in order to keep giving. And I'm sure you've felt this way in a relationship or a friendship before, where you feel like you're giving your all and you're not getting anything in return. But was your heart open? Was your mind open? And were your hands open to receive the help when it was coming? So while you're here in stillness, start to deepen the breath, breathing in and out through the nose, maybe a few exhales out the mouth if you need it. And you're standing tall, but see if you can soften the body a little bit more. Can you soften the shoulders back? Can you soften the knees a touch more, letting the tailbone drop down? Feet grounded. And then you take that theme and interpret it how you will. How could you work on receiving? Or maybe there's something you're looking to manifest, looking to receive. And you call on that throughout class. Take another breath in. On the exhale, start to drop the chin. Starting to roll down, coming into a forward fold. Nice and easy. Right here, separate the feet a tiny bit wider, so now they're slightly wider than the hips. Knees are still soft, so bend your knees so much that your belly touches the tops of the thighs. And then grab opposite elbow, a little sway. Breathe in and breathe out. So already it's likely you're feeling an intense stretch or strain in the backs of the legs, the hamstrings. Bend the knees even more and let that space relax a bit more. Good, a couple more breaths in and out. Relax the head down, top of the head going down towards the earth. No holding in the neck. And then invite that sway and make little semicircles. So bringing the elbows to the outsides of the ankles or in that direction. Thinking about the spine, thinking about the space you want to create there. To counteract all of that other stuff we're doing all day, standing, sitting, hanging out on the couch. You know the activities. Maybe you're straining to pick up a little one all the time, bending over to get on their level, whatever it happens to be. And go ahead, find stillness again, release the hands to the ground. Keeping the knees soft, inhale up to a nice flat back, crown of head goes forward. Shoulders back to lengthen the space between the ears and the shoulder blades. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, lift up. And exhale, fold. Twice more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Last one, breathe in, lift up. Good, and exhale, fold. Place those hands flat on the ground, bend your knees as much as you need to do that. And then step the feet back, finding our first downward facing dog of our practice. Fingers spread wide, feet now again, hips width distance. Check in, look up at the hips. Notice what hips distance is, and then line your feet up. Bend the knees, lift the hips higher. Grounding down through the hands. My mat's a little slippery. Pushing the finger pads into the mat, the bottoms of the palms, softening the elbows slightly and turning them down. So without moving your hands, rotating the elbows down, getting that nice internal rotation, which opens up the back body a bit more. And then once you find a good positioning, start to walk out your dog, bending one knee, bending the other, stretching the backs of the legs. Gotta love this one. A nice stretch of the calf muscles, moving up into the quads. Awesome work. So before we flow, we're gonna warm up the shoulders a bit more. Warm up the core. I was just gonna make up a word, but we're warming up the core. And then we'll get into our nice sun salutations. So settle the feet. Go ahead, lift up on the tippy toes. Start to come forward into a high plank position. Take a breath in here. On the exhale, rock it back, downward facing dog. Go ahead, inhale out, high plank. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Think about the core here. Inhale, come out, holding through the abs. And then exhale, the low belly pulls you up and back. Good. Inhale out. And exhale back. You just continue this on your own, following your breath. And imagine that space, your low belly. Imagine the abs. They wrap all the way around your body. They're not just in the front. They're not just that six pack. They wrap around the back of the body as well. So like a little tube, a swimming device around your waist. What do they call that? A lifesaver. Imagine that shape around the low belly. And every time you go up to downward facing dog, it's pulling you up and back. So start to feel every muscle in the abdominals. Working here. We're still going. You're inhaling to plank. You're exhaling up. We just have a few more. You feel those shoulders. Hopefully really zoned in on the core. Next exhale, you stay downward facing dog. Go ahead and drop the knees, tabletop position. Awesome work. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders now. If you need to, just shake out the wrists a little bit. Spread the fingers wide again, cow and cat here. Drop the belly, lift the face up, tailbone up. And then exhale, round. Pull the belly button up towards the ceiling. Inhale, drop the belly. And exhale, round. Good, a few more here. Are you noticing any areas of resistance? Any areas that need opening? Go ahead and receive that. Maybe it means you need to hold in your cow pose. Maybe it means you need to move around in your cat pose. Meet those areas of resistance with a little bit of grace. Receiving the challenge. Just a few more breaths. Moving, however you're moving, is fine. Eventually, you'll make your way back to downward facing dog, walking the hands slightly ahead, tucking the toes, and lifting the hips. We take a deep breath in, we lift the heels up to the sky, and then we bend the knees and we look forward between our hands. Walk the feet up behind the wrists. Take a deep breath in, a flat back, we lift up. Remember this? Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms all the way to the sky, stretch up. And then fold forward, right back down. Nice and fluid. Inhale, flat back. Hands down, step back, high plank. Drop the knees, chest, chin, exhale, low plank. Inhale, cobra, which means legs are rested, pressing through the hands, opening the heart. And then on the exhale, you go back over the knees, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and let it go. So I want you to remember these little things. The elbows turning down, this internal rotation to open the back body, to strengthen the shoulders. The softening of the knees to let the tailbone tilt up higher, to bring some relief to the backs of the legs. And then every time you're moving from a plank or to a downward facing dog, thinking about that lifesaver around the low belly, wrapping around your back, someone's pulling it up and back. Someone, your abs, your strength is pulling it up and back. All right, take another deep breath in, lift the heels. Bend the knees, look forward, hop or walk to those wrists. Inhale, flat back, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise, arms to the sky. And exhale, back down. Flat back, breathe in. Hands down, high plank. Take a breath in here. And then on the exhale, drop the knees, chest, chin down. Inhale, up, cobra. And exhale, back, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. We go again, breath in, lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward, walk to those hands. A flat back. And a forward fold. All right, crew, rise, arms to the sky. And fold forward, exhale. Flat back, breathe in. Hands down, high plank, hold. Inhale here and then exhale, low plank, elbows to the ribs, hover. Inhale, come on the tops of the feet, upward facing dog, legs lifted now. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. And out. Lift the heels last time. Bend the knees, look forward, walk to those hands. Flat back. And fold. Rise, inhale, arms up, stretch. And exhale, fold. Flat back. Hands down, high plank, hold. Take the inhale here and then exhale, elbows to ribs, hover. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Let it go. Awesome work. Take those feet to the center of the mat, hands to the center of mat. We're back in a forward fold. Flat back, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Bring the big toes to touch. Squeeze the knees and inner thighs together. Start to drop the hips low, 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 low. Arms up, chair pose. Good. So from here, knees squeezing together. Thighs squeezing together, arms up. So this same internal rotation we had in our downward facing dog, you have here. Pinkies turning in. Sitting low, lengthening through the spine. You're a nice thunderbolt shape. Take another breath in. Exhale, sit lower. We've got to warm the legs up before we stretch them. Take another breath in. Exhale. Next breath in, lift the chest higher. Exhale, fold forward, straighten the legs. Awesome work. Flat back, breathe in. And exhale, fold. Separate the feet, hips width distance. Start to walk the hands out, feet back, downward facing dog once again. Now, take a moment here, maybe child's pose if you really feel like you need it. It's always there for you. Toes touch, big toes touch. Still in downward facing dog. We lift the right leg up, three-legged dog. Step the foot between the hands, runner's lunge. We're not gonna get low yet. Arms to the sky, crescent lunge right away. So from here, sit low. Start to bend the back knee a little bit, letting the hips drop down, tailbone drop down. Right here we pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now inhale, straighten both legs. Exhale, drop low, lower than you did before. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, low. Inhale, straighten. Exhale. One more time, inhale. Exhale, low. Take a deep breath in, palms join overhead. Exhale, fold forward over that front leg. Now we're in runner's lunge. You can drop the back knee, untuck the toes, low lunge. Now that things are a little bit warmer, let's get into the deeper stretch. If you can, fingertips are tented on either side of that front foot. I have a block here. If you happen to have 2 blocks, you could also be up a touch higher. Water bottles, cans, all these things are helpful. So if you feel like a prop like that is going to help you access this stretch in a more comfortable way, then press pause and run and go get the props. There's no harm in pressing pause, okay? You press down through the hands, whatever they happen to be. Maybe they're flat, maybe the fingers are tented, maybe the hands are on blocks or cans. You press down to lift the heart. So imagine this nice open heart space, coming back to our theme of receiving. So part of receiving is being vulnerable, so opening up this heart space, but also being humble and recognizing that you can't do it all by yourself all the time, okay? Take another breath in and exhale. Now, whether your hands are on blocks or not, the left hand will come down flat inside that foot, and the right arm will go up. So if you're on tented fingers, now you're a flat hand. If you're on a block, maybe you drop it down to a lower height. If you're on cans, you might need to be on your fingertips instead, a little bit more sturdy. Start to move the heart space towards the knee, lifting the right arm up to the sky. Take another breath in. And then exhale. Bring that hand down to the ground. Start to walk it back, straightening the front leg. A little bit of relief for the hip, but now getting into that hamstring stretch. The hips move back on a single plane. So notice what's happening with the left hip. Make sure the left hip is in line with the left knee. It's not going out to the left. It's not sitting down towards the right. Good. On fingertips again, or you bring those blocks with you. You're up a little bit higher. So I want you to use props and to not be afraid to use props to access the pose a bit better, a bit easier. Because our stretches look different all of the time. If I had my 2 blocks here, I would probably be up here. It's a little bit more comfortable with flat hands. Good. Look at the right toes. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, start to walk forward. Awesome. We're going to swing this leg around, finding tabletop position. So now this right leg that was just in front, lift it up and place the knee on the calf muscle. Yeah? So you can do this here. You're gonna bring the knee towards the center of the calf and just start to rock a bit forward and back. If you have been running, cycling, jumping around a lot, odds are you'll find a nice pressure point here that needs some love. You can also bring this down to the forearms, a little bit more relaxed. Maybe better access to that calf. Start to just move the knee around, do a couple rocks in each spot. A break for the hip, but also a little self-massage. Awesome work. Take another breath in and breath out. And then go ahead, come back up onto the hands if you dropped lower. Bring that knee next to the left. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here. Just acknowledging what it felt like on that side. We're gonna start from the very top, walking the feet to the center of the mat. You know it, hands to the center of the mat. Take a flat back inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold. That's your little reset button. Feet together, big toes touch, squeeze the legs, sit the hips low, 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 and then lift the heart, chair pose. Good. You can do this, just breathe through it. You've done it before, but you're only doing it this one more time. Turn the pinkies in, elbows down, opening this chest space. Drop the tailbone. See if you can scoop the pelvic bone up and forward. Another breath in. Sit lower. Twice more. Last breath in. And then exhale, fold forward. Awesome. Take a flat back inhale. Exhale, fold. Separate the feet, hips width distance. Walk the hands forward, feet back. Take a couple breaths. You can pedal out the feet if you need it. We're gonna move on to the other side, starting with that nice crescent lunge. Feet together, lift the left leg up, and then step it forward. Runner's lunge to start. Ground down through that front foot, lift up, crescent. So in our crescent lunge, this left knee is over the left ankle. We're up on our back toes. Create some bounce here. Hips going down, tailbone tucking down, arms reaching up without lifting the shoulders. We pulse here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Now inhale, straighten both legs. Exhale, bend. Inhale. Exhale. Up and down. Get a little bit lower this time. Up. If it helps, hands on hips, maybe for extra balance. Up and down. Let's do a few more. Up. 3, 2, last one. Hold here, take a deep breath in, lift the heart, hands together, exhale, come down. Find runner's lunge. Again, drop the back knee, untuck the toes. Good, so set yourself up for success on this side as well. Those cans, those blocks, those fingertips. When the stretch is so intense in one part of the body, we want to try to relax under other places of the body. And it's not relaxing to a point where we're not engaged anymore. It's just not bringing in extra stress. So if it feels stressful to have the hands on the ground, and then you're feeling so much stress through the hips, how can you possibly relax into any of that? How can you possibly relax into this stretch? So if it helps to have the hands on blocks or cans, that's what you do, so that you can relax into the hip stretch. That's what we're focused on right now. And sometimes the longer we're here, the more intense it can get, and that's where the exhale comes in. We don't need the extra tension in our jaws or our necks or our shoulders. We need those areas to support us, but not in a way that's adding extra strain. So the core is still slightly engaged here, and that doesn't mean sucking the belly button in, it just means the core is braced. So you're prepared for someone to maybe push you over or hit you in the stomach. You're ready. You're engaged at least that much. Not so much that it's an ab workout. Make sense? Shoulders roll back, opening the heart space, receiving, receiving, receiving. Sometimes what we receive is not so easy to hear. It's not so easy to digest. But what is it today that you feel like you need to welcome in? What would you like to welcome in? Right hand down, left arm up. Start for that twist. Arm up, eyes up, heart moving towards the knee. Take another breath in. Last breath. And then hands to the ground. Start to walk it back, finding that hamstring stretch. So don't rush to it. I just rushed a little bit. Take it easy. Right knee lined up with that right hip and vice versa. Hands under the shoulders on blocks, on cans, or on the ground. Eyes are forward onto that left set of toes. Breathing into the space in the back of the leg. Some of you can go much further here. I went for a nice run yesterday, feeling tight, feeling like I didn't stretch enough after. It's okay. I'm there with you sometimes. Rushing to the next thing, not totally being in the moment, not doing what's perfect or what's right for my body at that moment. I acknowledge that. And I'd like to receive a little bit of grace. Giving myself a little bit of grace. Start to walk it forward. Plant the hands and we just swing that leg around, finding tabletop. So, hands nice and flat. This time, left leg lifts. Knee comes somewhere on the back of that calf. So you can start the rock here. I like to bring it down a bit lower. Elbows ahead of the shoulders. Gives me the opportunity to add a little bit more pressure. Relax my upper body a bit more for something that is quite sensational for me. All those jumping jacks, right? How many jumping jacks did you do this week already? Take a couple. If you didn't do any jumping jacks, that's okay. But if you worked out with me already, you probably did some jumping jacks. Take another couple of breaths. Moving the knee around. Awesome work. After this, we're just going to flow a couple of times. 2 or 3 sun salutations. And then we make our way onto our backs for our final stretches. Go ahead. Bring that, I could have done that forever. Knee next to knee, hands planted. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. I told you, no more chair, but we will flow. Take a deep breath in, lift the heels. Bend the knees, look forward, hop to those hands. Flat back and fold. Rise, inhale, arms to the sky. And exhale, right back down. Flat back, breathe in. Hands down, step back, high plank. Hold here, take a deep breath in. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Exhale, let it go. Lift the heels, breathe in. Bend the knees, look forward, hop to those hands. Flat back. And fold. Rise, inhale, arms up. Exhale, right back down. Flat back. Hands down, high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Option for one last one, or rest in child's pose, whatever you need today. Inhale, heels lift if you're coming with me. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Hop. Flat back. And fold. Rise, inhale, arms up. And exhale, right back down. Flat back, breathe in. Exhale, hands down, high plank. Inhale here. Your exhale brings you low. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's meet our friends in child's pose. Drop the knees wide, big toes touch. Hips move back. Forehead to the ground. And before we turn our faces and our hearts towards the sky, I want you to take a moment here, closed off, safe, to think about those things that you're hoping to receive, you dream to receive, the things you've been wanting to come into your life, whether it's a feeling, whether it's something tangible. And recognize the things you could do to open yourself up a bit more. Open yourself up and create space for those things to enter, those things, those feelings. We did some of the work today, but there's always more to be done. When you're ready, start to make your way up to all fours. We'll end on our backs, open hearts towards the sky. So go ahead, swing the legs around. And make your way down. Find a nice comfortable position where the feet are grounded, arms by the sides, palms down. We'll lift the right leg up, and without touching it, without doing anything, just little pulses towards you. Flex the foot, toes towards your face, heel away. Just little pulses. The hip, the hamstring. Good. And then grab the back of the leg just underneath or just above the knee. Under, based on your perspective, but above, based on your anatomy. Shoulders down, keep the foot flexed. See if you could pull it in a little bit more. Good. And then go ahead, bend the knee. Bring that ankle over left, coming into figure four. Grabbing onto the back of that left leg, letting the left leg relax, just focusing on the right leg for now. Flex the foot, knee moves away from you. Feeling the stretch through the glute. If you've done any squats this week, or if you found that chair tiring or challenging, you might already feel a little something there. Good, and we're just going to do everything on one side before switching to the other. We're going to move into a twist from here. The left leg will come flat, or the foot will come flat. The right leg will cross over like you're crossing your legs. Because you are. Hips lift up and over 1 inch to the right. Arms out to the sides. Got it? Knees to the left. Coming into a nice spinal twist, and if it feels too intense, you just uncross the legs, stack one over the other. A lot of the stretches that we did today are really great ones to bring into your weekly routine, especially that figure 4, the runner's lunge. We don't often stretch, at least a lot in my classes after we finish. So just having some go-to stretches to turn to at the end of a workout is always great. Go to the ones that feel good, that make you feel like you're becoming stronger, that make you feel like you've got more space to move. And then go ahead, bring those knees back to center, hips center, uncross, and now left leg up. Hands by the sides, flex the foot, just a little pulse, opening up that space. Good. Make sure the head is relaxed if you needed to. Take out the ponytail, move something out of the way. All right, and now go ahead, grab just above that knee. If you do happen to be a bit more flexible here, maybe you grab onto the calf. Just don't grab the knee. You're either above or below. Keep the foot flexed. One more breath in. Exhale. And then cross the ankle over. Nice figure 4. Go ahead, grab onto the back of that leg. Good, last little glute stretch here. Flex the left foot, relax the right. Knee moving away from you. And then as you're ready, we'll move into that final twist before our rest. Cross the left leg over. Move the hips slightly to the left. Arms out like a T or a cactus. And twist. Awesome work today. Bring that knee back towards center, uncross the legs, give yourself one last little squeeze here. We're gonna end in a seated position, so go ahead, start to rock and roll yourself up, finding a nice cross-legged seat. Eyes closed, palms face up. So again, these open palms. What do you want? What do you need? And how will you open yourself up to receive those things. Whether it's asking for help, whether it's telling someone you need space, whether it's communicating your needs, or maybe it's calling on the universe, whatever higher power you believe in or call upon, and just putting that message out there. Take the hands to the center of the chest and start to rub the hands together, creating some warmth. And then you'll put those two warm palms right over the heart space. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Drop your chin. Flutter the eyes open and just be aware of the space you are in. And lift the chin, release the hands.